So today is our last lesson of the semester, last lesson of the math, essentials math. We're going to talk about odds and probability, how we can interchange from odds to probability and probability to odds. So let's just take a look at the word probability. When we talk about probability, it's favorable outcomes divided by all of the total outcomes, so all of them. Where odds, in the other hand, is it's a comparison from favorable outcome is to unfavorable outcomes. Okay. I think it's better to do the example. So let's just jump into example number 1. So example number 1 says a bag that contains 3 gold and 8 brass. 3 gold and 8 brass. That's it. So G and 8 brass. I'll just go B. So they're all in a bag. They're all mixed up in there, right? Letter A, starting with this one here. State the probability of choosing a gold coin. So if we pick what is the chance that we're gonna pick a gold coin out of the bag if we pick one? So probability of gold, I'll just put gold, okay? So P brackets gold, how many golds are there? There's 3 out of, when it's probability out of everything. Page 20. Out of everything. So how many are in here? 11. So 3, 11. So that's the chance of getting the gold. Is that okay? So this is how many are favorable outcomes, golds. This is total. Okay? So that becomes the gold and the brass. Let's take a look at letter B. Letter B. State the odds of choosing a gold coin. Now when we took about yesterday, when we talked about the odds, we talked about comparison between desirable event and desirable outcome and a non-desirable outcome. Oh, okay. So in that case, what's our desirable outcome here? Our desirable outcome would be gold, and then compare it to the undesirable outcome would be not gold, right? So let's see here. I'm gonna change my lead here. So this is the odds of picking a gold. So when we talk about odds, it's part. So gold is to not gold. And once it's broken up into this, then it's easier to write down the odds. So gold. So how many gold do I have? Well, I got 3. 3 is to how many are not gold? Not gold would be the brass. So that would be 8. So 3 is to 8. So you'll notice that when you add these two together, that would add up the whole thing, right? 3 and 8, that is the whole thing. Letter C. State the odds against brass coin. So odds against brass coin. Okay, now the word against means, I told you yesterday that what we could do is we can just do the odds of brass coin, right? We can do the odds of brass coin, and then because it's against, we're gonna switch them around. Okay, so we're gonna start with not brass coin and then the brass coin. So here, if you want, let's start with odds of brass coin. So what's the odds of picking one brass? So it's gonna be brass is to not brass. So brass would be 8 is to 3, right? That's the odds of brass. Now, if we do the odds against, now we're gonna go back in here, odds against, then we're gonna switch these two around. So odds against brass coin would be 3 is to 8. We switch them around. Okay, so is everybody okay with that one? Let's take a look at example number 2. So example number 2, the probability that the Winnipeg Jets will win a game against Washington Capitals is 4 is to 11. So let's interpret that one for a second. So probability of winning, Winnipeg wins, is 4 out of 11. Well, what does the 4 mean? That means 4 wins. And what does the 11 mean? That means the total. Well, total games, right? So that 4 wins, that means 4 games that they won. And then 11 would be the total games altogether. So the question is, state the odds in favor of Jets winning. So the odds of Jets winning would be, so Jets win is to Jets not win. Okay, so Jets winning is 4. Okay, how many games did they not win? Would be 7. So 4 is to 7. Is that okay? This is a fast one. Fast lesson. Okay, example 3. The odds that Tara will be late for school on a given day is 4 is to 3. State the probability that Tara will not be late. So odds, I'll write this down first, odds of Tara being late. Odds that Tara is going to be late. They said it's 4 is to 3. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So this means that this is late. Okay, because it's an odd being late. And this one, what would that be? What would the 3? Not on time, okay, or you can say not late. Okay. So if you go late and then not late, I think it's just easier that way to kind of navigate. So we can just say, or yeah, you're right, it could be late and then on time, right? But I just wanted to show you that these are like the conjugate of the other, well, not conjugate, but the complement of each other. Okay, complement, not conjugate. So what is the probability? Now we're going to go to the probabilities. Probability that Tara is not late. What is the chance that she will not be late? Well, we know it's not late would be 3. And then when it's a probability, it's the whole thing. the whole thing. So that's 3 out of the 7, right? So 3 out of the 7, because this is late or not late, and then this one would be the total. The probability includes the whole thing, the total. Good. And last but not the least, oh, okay. Now this one here is like switching back and forth, and I can tell you this, that you're gonna see this always shows up on the exam. So it's probably a good thing to let you know that. And this is not on the formula sheet, so if you go and do the formula sheet, you can write this down. So the probability that it will rain tomorrow is 12%. So probability of rain is 12%. So probability of rain is 12%. Okay. So state the odds in favor that it's gonna rain tomorrow. So okay. So state the odds of it's raining tomorrow. You can, what we can do is we can change the percent into a decimal, into a fraction. So when we say 12%, we can say it's 12 out of 100, right? So the chance that it's going to be raining is 12 out of 100 possible days. State the odds in favor of raining. So this is odds of rain. So it's going to be rain is to not rain. So if it's 12% is rain, or 12 out of 100 is going to rain, what's the odds of rain? It would be 12 is to, how many days will it not rain? Give us the 88. Okay, 12 is to 88. 12 is to 88. Is everybody okay with that one? Right, that creates the whole thing. And lastly, state the odds of it raining tomorrow. States the odds against. Odds against rain. Okay. Well, if this is the odds in favor of raining, odds against would be the switch. So it would be 88 is to 12. So that becomes odds against. That means starting with not rain, and then the 12 would be raining. Oh my gosh, that's a bittersweet moment. We did the last one, last lesson of the year. Okay, so that's great. Like, you finished everything. There are some questions for you to take a look at over here. So this is your assignment number 5 for you to practice on, switching from odds to probability and probability to odds. Okay, so we can take a look at that.